Hi, welcome to the Open Chinese course Vocab Builder 600, designed for HSK Level 1 to Level 2. Let's get started. Lesson 2. In today's lesson, we're going to review what we have learned in Lesson 1. They are left and right structure, shift and sound system, up and down structure. And we're going to know what is single body character. They are the very fundamental compositions of modern day written Chinese. By doing so, we're going to get to know 13 new characters, and all of them are pairs of antonyms. Before we start our lesson, we should preview what we're going to learn today, and I'll read each word. You could pause and read after me. 上下忐忑心左右前后东西南北内外 Okay, let's get to know the first two characters we're going to learn today. 上下 shang meaning up, xia meaning down. We have already encountered these two characters in our lesson 1 in up and down structure, 上下结构, meaning this character has upper part and then lower part. They compose together. If you can remember, fa, father or dad, it has the upper part, fu, meaning the father. The lower part, ba, gives the sound or pronunciation to this character. So ba is pronounced ba and means father. Okay, so 上下结构, within this up and down structure, we have these two characters, 上 and 下. 上 meaning up or on top of or ascend or climb up or higher places. Like Chinese characters are very abstract collections of meaning. Each of the character itself is a collection of meanings. So we have to, at the very beginning, when we learn characters, we better learn all of the meanings and just get the grasp with the abstraction of these whole meanings together. 上 Okay, it's very pictographic. You have the origin and something, on top of that, that's 上, that's up. And 下, you have origin and things are going lower than it. They're going like below it. They are down or below or lower than. So 上 and 下, very pictographic, but the pronunciation of it has to be memorized. They're faceless little pictures, so you have to memorize their pronunciation. Read after me. 上 上下下 Okay. 心 This is a new single body character we have to learn today because we are going to use it to compose new characters. 心 it actually means heart or core or center. It is also pictographic of the shape of a heart. If you can, maybe it's getting lost in today's writing, but in ancient times, 心 was written like this. So it's very much like a human heart, like human heart, the organ itself. So 心, heart, core, or center. It is not that pictographic in today's writing, but you can see how it has evolved from doing draw the heart and then slowly, gradually for hundreds and thousand years transform into this shape. 心, okay, heart and core, easy to pronounce. 心, 心, heart, core, 心. Okay, just memorize. Just try to memorize as quick as possible this character, and we're going to use it soon. Combine single bodies together, we can get new characters like this. We have a 上 on the top and 心 in the lower part, and 下 on the top and 心 on the lower part. They're compositions of single body characters, and they make new characters. This is 坦, and this is 特. The meaning of them are pretty obvious. You have the up heart, you have the low or down heart. So the heart goes up and the heart goes down. That is pretty anxious or restless. So 忐忑, this word composed with two characters, the up heart and down heart, pronounced 忐忑, meaning being anxious, meaning your heart goes up and down, and restless, and you're not sure what to do because your heart is like going up and going down at the same time. That's pretty weird. But anyhow, the meaning of 忐忑 is very obvious. So pretty easy to memorize, huh? Okay, let's move on. 我的心情很忐忑. My feelings are very anxious. 我的 my 心情 feelings Xing, here we have xing, heart, right? Qing meaning the emotion or affection or feelings. So 心情 is the feelings or affections of the heart. It's your inner soul's feelings. So feelings are very, very is 很. Many of you probably have already learned in level 1 classes, HSK Level 1 classes. If you haven't, you can go back to review that. And 忐忑, anxious, right? Heart goes up, heart goes down. That's pretty obvious. 我的心情很忐忑. My feelings are pretty anxious. Okay. 忐忑, up heart and down heart. Okay. 左右, left and right. We have also encountered these two characters in 左右结构, left and right structures, right, in lesson 1. 左右结构, it means this character has the left part and the right part. Like what we have learned last time, we have this mother. We have the left part suggesting it's a female, it's a woman or daughter, and the left and the right part, ma, gives the pronunciation ma to it, right? So left and right structure, the single character has two parts, left part and the right part. Okay, so they're called 左右结构, left and right structure. So we have to learn what is left and what is right in Chinese. So left is 左, the right is 右. They looks pretty similar, but also very different. 左 has a 弓 in the lower right part, and 右 has a 口 at the lower right part. 弓, many of them probably have already know this. 弓 means working or workers. 口 means the mouth, right? We have also reviewed it in lesson 1. And 左右, so left and right. Okay, so when we put 左 and 右 together to make a new word, what do we have? It's also pretty obvious. 左 means goes left and 右 means goes right. So 左右 together, it makes a verb, means to change or to persuade. Like, you cannot change my thoughts. 你不能左右我的想法. 左右 here suggests the meaning of change. Why? Because I made you to go left and I made you to go right. That's kind of to change your mind, right? That's forcing you to do something, it's persuading you to do something, that's to changing your mind. So 左右 comes together when they put together as a verb. It means to change, to make you go right and left and right. That's to change you. So 你不能左右我的想法. You cannot change my thoughts. Okay, let's move on. 前 means front, in front of, or preceding. So this is also a up and down structure character. You can see the upper part. You have this little grass, right? They look like grasses growing on top of the land. And the lower part, you have the thing, it's the moon, and then you have the knife, it's the knife. So 前, this character is a little bit complicated, and for beginners, it's not that easy to write. So I'll write it for you, and you can pause and write it yourself on your practicing sheet. Okay, let's do this. Dot. A horizontal stroke. And you write moon. This is the moon. And then you have one vertical stroke and one vertical stroke on the left with a hook. 前, meaning front, in front of, preceding. So as I have told you guys earlier, in this class, we're going to learn antonyms. So we have 前, we have the front. We are going to learn what is afterwards, or what is last, or offsprings. That is 后, meaning things comes after, meaning behind it, or afterwards, or the last place. Or offsprings. Why offsprings? Pretty easy to understand, right? 后. This character is not easy to write too, so we have to learn the strokes. So be careful, you are not going to write like this. This is wrong. Chinese strokes, Chinese characters writing has its rules of stroke sequences. So you have to learn which stroke goes first and how to write it, and slowly get used to it, and then practice, and you'll be able to write it fast and correct. So 后 is written like this. You have the first, Slightly, the first stroke is slightly leaning towards the lower left side, and then you have the pier, and then a vertical stroke, the horizontal stroke, and then you write a kou here. So ho means something comes after. It's not very pictographic. It's not easy to really understand why this character is shaped like this, because single body characters are sometimes not single body characters, but this one is surround from the upper left structure. So you have to memorize it. Let's write it again. So you have this, and then this, and then a stroke, and then a kou. Remember how we write kou, right? Cool. So 前 meaning the front, and 后 meaning afterwards, later, comes after. Okay, 东 meaning the east, east. 东 is a very interesting character. It was originally written like this. 东, like in mahjong, in those mahjong tiles, you will see 东 written like this instead of this character. You have 东 like this. So this is the traditional way of writing it, and when it gets simplified, it follows the cursive writing of the complicated version, and then it's shaped. So let's see how it was changing. Like in a cursive writing, it was written like this, and then the more cursive it gets, the more simplified it gets, and today we write it dong like this. Okay, dong meaning the east. Okay, we can see it's not that difficult to actually distinguish dong, the east, xi, the west, and nan, the south, and bei, the north. We're going to learn all of these four directions today. And there's a little tip in how to recognize and distinguish these four different characters. Like we can draw a map, and in the map, usually we have the north on the top, and the south in the lower part, and east at the right side, and west at the left side. So dong, we see it is opening, right? The opening towards the strokes are living open mouth, right, to the east side. So this is east. This is dong, right? It opens this way. It opens this way, and the whole character is kind of like opening towards this the right side. So that's the east. And then we have xi. This is the west, and xi we can see it is actually the stroke is leaning towards the left side. So xi west. Xi, let's write this together. We have one horizontal stroke and something like a kou here, and you have a R. Actually, this is the sun. This is a character for sun. Many of you probably recognize it. And then we enclose the mouth. Xi, meaning the west. So let's review. Dong goes to the east, and xi is the west. Okay, xi is the west. And of course, if we have dong, xi, east and west, we combine them together. That makes a very commonly used word in Chinese. That is 东西, means things or stuffs. How so? Because in Tang Dynasty, about 900 AD, Anno Domino, around this time in Chinese history, we have the Tang Dynasty. And in Tang Dynasty, there is a great city, its capital called Chang'an, which is today's Xi'an. Xi'an, probably many of you probably have heard this. Xi'an is a city in the northwest China and used to be the capital of the Tang Dynasty. In the city of Xi'an, they have two markets, the East Market and the West Market. The East Market and the West Market. Two markets sitting in the east side and the west side of the city. And these two markets are the only markets of the city. And people go to these two markets to shop for stuff, to buy things in the urban setting. So gradually, Dong, Xi, the East Market and the West Market combined together means things or consumer goods. 东西 meaning things or stuffs. So when we have Dong East and Xi West put together, it forms a new word, means things or stuffs. 东西. You do not pronounce it 东西, you pronounce it 东西. The second syllable, xi, it gets sort of like neutralized. It does not really have a tone, but it's just a sound. 东西 东西 means stuffs or things, and it's it's highly commonly used word in modern day Chinese. 东西. Okay. Remember, 东西 from the East market and West market combined together form a new word, 东西, stuff. Okay. And of course, after Dong and Xi, after East and West, we're going to learn what is South, right? Nan, the South. It's also pretty easy to distinguish from Dong and Xi, right? The South opens its mouth to the lower part, right? On the map, right? The South is always, when we have a north on the top map, we have South in the lower part. So this is Nan. It opens at the lower part. It's not that hard to distinguish. Let's write together. We have a 10 on top of it, right? That's the character 10. And then we have a open mouth, right? Open mouth opening towards the south, towards the lower part, right? Remember the口, right? The mouth is not enclosed mouth, but a opening mouth. This mouth is opening towards the south, so the south. And then within this mouth, we have the sign, right? The sign, many of you probably are very familiar with this. This sign is in many cases used as a Chinese dollar sign, right? Like the dollar sign for US dollars. This is the Chinese yuan sign for Chinese money. So in the South, you probably can find money. That's probably true today. Like Southern China is economically a bit well off compared to the northern part. So South, Nan, South. And of course, we have 北, meaning the north. And 北, this character is not that hard to recognize either. We have this, right? We have 北, we have this opening towards the north. Many of you are probably saying, see, this one is not opening to the north, it's opening to the south too. So 北, yeah, it's hard to recognize, but with this little stroke, you probably can see the tendency of this character. This character is trying to point in upper part, right? Trying to point to the upper part, to the north part, right? So 北 north, okay, 北 north, 北. Let's write it. 北, you have this vertical stroke, and then this horizontal stroke, and then this upper little stroke, and then this lower one, and then you have this. 北 goes to the north. 北. Let's review. 南 北 东西 东西. Okay, but people might ask, does 南北 put together makes a new word? It does not necessarily. When 南 and 北 put together, 南北, let's say, 南北 put together, they usually mean south and west. They don't usually mean another thing. Like it's not like 东西 when you put together, it gets a new meaning, things or stuff or consumer goods. But 南北, when you put them together, it does not really become a new meaning. Usually it just means south and north. Okay, 南北. Okay, the very last pair of antonyms, that is 内 and 外. 内 means inside or inner. 内. Okay, this is pretty pictographic. 内, we have a little semi-open mouth, a mouth with not enclosed, and then we have a person, has his head a little bit poking out of the box, and this is 内, right? This person, this is a person, right? You can see this is a 人, meaning a person. This person is mostly within the inside, this enclosure, and have a head pointing out. So this is inside, inner. Right? When you were inside a bathtub, you can imagine, right? A person inside a bathtub, right? That's inside the bathtub, not outside. 内 meaning inside, inner. And of course, we have 外 meaning outside, outsider. Okay, 外. It has a xi on the left. So this is a left and right structure character, left and right. We have xi on the left side. Xi, many of you, if you can recall the first lesson for all beginners, xi means sunset, meaning the sunset time of the day, right? And we have a door, right? This is the gate. This is the piece of wood that's blocking the outsiders. and you have someone knocking at the door, right? When the sun goes down, you close your door, and this little hand or little person is outside. So outside, right? Why means outside. In the evening, you have a gate, lock people outside. Why? Outside. Why? Outside. Okay. That's probably for today. And let's review. We have learned 上下, like in 上下结构, up and down structure. We learned 心, meaning the heart. So when your heart, put 上 on top of heart, that's your heart goes up. Put 下 on top of heart, that's your heart goes down. So 忐特 means restless or anxious. 左右 meaning left, right? 左右结构 left, right structure. You have the left and you have the right. 前后 front and back. Before or afterwards. 前后东西 or 东西 east, west, or when you put together 东西 stuffs, because in Tang Dynasty people go to East Market and the West Market to buy stuffs. So gradually 东西 east and west combined together means to shop, and then means the things you shop, and it gradually becomes today's meaning things or stuffs or thingies. 南北 south, north. 南北 Okay, let's do it together. 东西南北东西南北 east, west, south, north. Okay. 内 why? Inside and outside. 内 why? 内 has a person in a bathtub. Why in the evening? A gate locking people outside, right? Evening outside. Okay. 内 why? Let's do it again. 上下忐忑心左右前后东西南北内外 Cool. That's all for today. And the next lesson, we're going to learn these new words. And in the next lesson, one thing to remind you guys is that we're slowly moving towards vocabularies, words, instead of just single characters. And they will be set in different scenarios for you to come up with mnemonics or easy ways of memorizing them. Okay, I'll see you next time.